I don't know how much of this is actually going to film before my camera dies, but hi. You've probably forgotten who I am. I can't actually remember how long it's been since I sat down and spoke to a camera. I did film a book video a couple of months ago and deleted it because, hi, I'm having a bit of a body blip at the moment. I'm having a bit of a confidence crisis, and I thought what better way to get over that was then to force myself to start weekly vlogging again. So I have ummed and ahed, and I still, at this moment of filming this, don't know if this is going to come to anything, but I saw this quote on Instagram earlier. If I can remember to screenshot it, I'll put it here, and it was somebody basically saying, let's normalise like not having Insta-worthy homes. And I put off vlogging because I think I don't really do much, my life is really boring, etc, etc. And so I've just made it my mission from today to film something every day, even if it's a little bit of 5-second B-roll footage, if it's just me telling you that I've finished a book, or if it's just me rambling. I am still trying to keep up with, it's not a no spend year anymore, it's a low spend year at best. I guess I'm just trying to figure out who I am, and I've said that on here before. So this year hasn't started off brilliantly for me. I have pushed myself to do too many shifts at work. My granddad passed away in February. It's actually his funeral this week, so I've been quite lucky in my life that I've not had to deal with too much grief. Tom lost his dad a couple of years into our relationship, but although he was somebody that I was close to because it was Tom's dad, it wasn't somebody that I was necessarily close to. The biggest grief I have had in my life, I lost two of my grandparents when I was too young to really remember it, and then losing my cats has been my biggest grief so far. And my granddad was 102, so my granddad had lived a really long life, and it just felt a bit surreal when he actually passed away. I wasn't going to go to Dudley and see him when they put him on end of life care, and then at the last minute I decided to go, so bless him, Tom drove me there pretty much in the middle of the night to go and spend some time with him. And although I've worked in hospitals, I understand the end of life process and things like that. It was really strange to see my admittedly grumpy but usually quite gentle granddad shouting and swearing. And yeah, I then spent some time with him after he'd had end of life meds, and he passed away at 4 o'clock in the morning when I was at my mum and dad's house. So it's been a weird one, this grief. I was fine at first, and he died on the Monday, and the Tuesday was my dad's birthday, so we went for a meal, tried to keep on going as normal, and then I got home and it was seeing Tom that I literally just cried. And then again I was okay for a few days, and then we were talking about songs for his funeral, and I have somewhere on one of my old phones a video clip that mum and dad sent me years ago of my granddad dancing with one of the support staff at his care home to Never Enough from Greatest Showman, and I put that on and sobbed. And then again I was okay for a few weeks. I read this it was The Comfort Book by Matt Haig the other day actually. It said about, hang on, I wrote it down, let me see what it said exactly. So it said the silence at the end of the song is as important as the song itself, and I think that really sums up how I've been feeling a little bit. Like, granddad had become, I didn't see my granddad very often over the past few years, especially with moving in with Nana. Before that I'd see him every couple of months or every time I went to visit my parents, but I haven't been back as much in the past year, and it's as if he was a piece of music that was just there in the background of my life, but now that he's gone, like, that's really hit me that that's not there anymore. Yeah, so hi, I'm back. I do have some books that I finished to share with you, but I've just got dinner cooking at the moment, so I'll probably come back and do that later. I broke my book ban today. One thing that I have been doing while I've been grieving is spending a lot more than I normally would. I've still been tracking what I'm spending. I've still been putting money into savings, but just not being as careful as I could have been. I went on a little bit of a vintage spree last month, and yeah, I'm trying to discover my style. I'm doing a kind of capsule wardrobe project in the background. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, that's the kind of thing I'm going to be sharing in these vlogs. If it doesn't, then, you know, each to their own. But let me just share with you a couple of things that I bought from Laura. So one I haven't got here with me, I'll insert a picture here. I bought this plate for 25p, and I bought it to put a candle on because I have a wooden bookcase in the lounge, which is new. I don't think I've vlogged that yet. Actually, it may have been in the b-roll before this, but I bought that off Facebook Marketplace. It fits perfect, but I just wanted a plate to put my candle on because I didn't want to be putting a candle straight onto the wood. Then I did something that I said I wasn't going to do. Obviously, me and Tom are saving for a house at the moment, and I have been bad in the past of being like, oh, let's buy things for our forever home. I'm trying not to do that anymore. I'm trying to just hold off. But when I saw these for 75p each, I just couldn't not have them. So they're these two little hooks with caps on, and one says I kiss better than I cook, and the other one says I plan to be spontaneous tomorrow. And I just thought they were really cute. And then the other thing, I did break my book buying ban. I spent 50p on Mad Honey by Jodi Picot. Now, when I was working at Morrison's last year, I don't know if I've mentioned that in my vlogs. Probably. I don't work at Morrison's anymore. I kept almost picking this up, and when I was like doing putbacks and things, I kept picking it up, reading the blurb, having a look, and yeah, it was just there in Laros today for 50p, and so I bought it. Right, I'm going to go and cook our dinner. Well, finish cooking our dinner. It's in the oven. You could possibly hear the air fryer in the back. Then I'm going to have a shower, wash my hair, do all that kind of thing. Pack, because we go to Dudley tomorrow. We're taking Nana with us to she's not coming to the funeral, but she's coming to the wake. So we're staying in a hotel for a couple of nights. Yeah. And hopefully I will come back a little bit later and talk to you about the books that I finished. If not, I'll do that at the end of the week. But yeah, I'm hoping to make these vlogs weekly. Let's just see where we go, shall we? So, nothing has gone to plan this week. It is now Wednesday night. I'm in a hotel. I should have been here with Tom and Nana. It's my granddad's funeral tomorrow. And yeah, Nana wasn't feeling too good, and there was just no way that she was getting in the car to come. And so I'm here on my own, which I was a little bit disappointed about at first. Like, I've tried to put on a really brave face because Tom obviously feels bad that he can't be here supporting me for my granddad's funeral, but it is what it is. It's one of those things of being a carer. I know nobody likes funerals, but I really despise funerals. I don't like the kind of forced, I don't know. I don't like, I'm quite an introvert anyway. I don't like being around a lot of people, and I find them really hard. I think I said earlier in the vlog that I've been lucky that I haven't had to go to many. But yeah, it's about 8 o'clock at night now. I just bought 2 new books from Asda. Well, Mum bought them for me. I'll show them you later. And I'm just going to go and run a bath with a bath bomb and just enjoy having a double bed to myself. I'll try and check in tomorrow. Possibly not. I'm obviously not going to vlog at a funeral. Yeah, and I'm just going to try and make the most of having some me time. I can't remember the last time I had some time just to myself, and it feels a little bit scary. I don't want to be thinking dark thoughts. It feels a little bit like I'm okay. Yeah, I'm really tired. I'm really fatigued. So I'm going to go and have this bath, get into bed and see what tomorrow brings. So it is Sunday night now, and my first week back to weekly vlogging has been a lot more interesting than I expected it to be. I was gonna call these vlogs Diary of a Boring Bookworm and yeah, it's been anything but boring this week. So you may be able to see these spots on my head here, also on my arm and this arm. I've had an allergic reaction to something, don't know what, but yeah, I've been at work all weekend this weekend while on the drowsy antihistamines, because the non-drowsy ones did absolutely nothing for this. It's still really itchy. I think it looks a lot worse than it is, but yeah, so that's been fun. So I am covered in this. I'll put my arm away, as I'm sure you don't want to see that, but I can't really do anything about the ones on my face. You'll just have to put up with how it is. Hashtag spoony life. I just wanted to wrap up this vlog. So I'm going to, at the end of every vlog, do kind of books in this week, books that I finished this week, any books that I've DNF'd, etc. I am going to sit some time and film. I've got a stack of books down here that I've read so far this year, so I'm going to do them in a separate video and then start doing this at the end of every vlog. That book ban that I was meant to be on, well and truly been ignored. So anyway, let me start first with the books that I finished this week. So the first one that I finished is Leopard is a Neutral by Erica Davies, and I really enjoyed this one. This was a real kind of antidote to the fashion guides that I read when I was younger that said, don't wear this, and if you're fat, don't wear stripes, and black is flattering and all this. It wasn't anything groundbreaking in here, but just, it was a nice read to read while I am getting to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Getting back in the swing of things with my wardrobe. And yeah, like I say, it was nice that there was a kind of no rules. They were just kind of nice ideas about like colours to put together and things, but nothing that was a hard and fast rule. And then a book which has completely kind of taken me by surprise, and that is The Memory Keeper's Daughter by Kim Edwards. I've never heard anybody talk about this before, but asking on my Instagram, people have said that basically I am late to the party and that this is a book that people read years ago and really, really highly rated. So this is a book about a man who is a doctor, and when his wife goes into labour in the middle of a snowstorm, he ends up delivering the babies himself. And while his son, they don't know that they're having twins, actually. I think they only knew that they were having one. And while his son is born completely healthy, his daughter is born with Down syndrome. This is set in the 50s, I believe. 1964, the twins are born. So obviously back in the day. He then gives the girl to a nurse and tells her to basically take her away, and then tells his wife that the baby has died. And then this follows them for a good, I think at the end of the book they're in their 20s, and I can't quite give this 5-star. There are a few little things in it that I didn't like, but it had me gripped. And yeah, I want to read more. I think you call this like a saga. I want to read more like this because I really, really enjoyed getting to know all the characters over the course of their life. One of the reasons why it's not a 5-star is because it didn't, I felt every time we jumped to another timeline, it was really jarring. Some books do it really well, that you can jump like 10 years in the future and it's smooth, whereas this, I felt like just as I was getting settled into a time frame, it would jump. But yeah, the author Kim Edwards does have another book out, which I think I'd probably have a look at. And also I think that this is the kind of thing that I expect like Jodi Picot books to be like. Still haven't read one of them. I tried to read The Book of Two Ways and really hated it and DNF'd it. So that is that. They're the two books that I finished this week. I will, at the beginning of next week's vlog, talk you through all the books that I'm currently reading. Yeah, so the day before my granddad's funeral, me and my mum and dad went to Merry Hill, which is a shopping centre in Dudley. We'd nipped to Asda because I wanted to get some bath salts. Ended up having a look down the book aisle, and my mum very kindly bought me a couple of books. So she bought me The Trial by Rinder. As you can see, I started reading this one straight away and I'm really enjoying it. And they were in the 2 for £9 at Asda deal. So we also picked up When Grumpy Met Sunshine by Charlotte Stein. On Storygraph, it's a bit of a lukewarm response to this, but Talia Hibbert said how brilliant it was in her newsletter, and if Talia Hibbert says it's good, I'm going to listen to her. And then the day of my granddad's funeral, me and my brother, I was staying in a hotel that was like across the road from Merry Hill, so we again went down to Merry Hill for dinner and ended up popping in the charity shop and bought This Winter by Alice Oseman. I've said before that I haven't enjoyed any of Alice Oseman's novels that I read, but this is about Nick and Charlie, I believe, or at least Charlie and Tori. Yeah, so I'm going to give it a go. I'm really not supposed to be buying Christmas books either, but that's what I did. I then picked up this book that I was going to buy in Tesco the other week, and this is Money, A User's Guide by Laura Whatley. And yeah, it says fully updated to tackle the cost of living crisis. It's about housing, student loans, pensions, paying off debt, stocks and shares, ethical investments, money and mental health, and money and love. I really love how it looks like a Monzo card. And yeah, as you know, that one of my big things this year is saving money and saving for a house deposit, so I thought that would be useful. And then an author that I had decided wasn't for me, but then I saw this, and this is a really recent book, and this again was £1, and that's Sophie Kinsella's The Burnout. I started reading this on the train and I'm really enjoying it, so maybe I shouldn't have written Sophie Kinsella off. I used to love Sophie Kinsella, especially the Shopaholic series, but found that they just hadn't aged well. So I'm hoping that with this being a newer book, it will be better. I am rambling a little bit now because I want to go to bed. I then went into the works and they had Happy Place sprayed edges for £5, and I have no willpower. When I'm grieving especially, shopping helped. And then when you thought, so that's a good, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, you think, yeah, that'll be enough books in. I came home to a package from Victoria, and she's given me all of these from her unhaul. Now, I have no justification, they all just sounded good. So I've got The Housemaid by Freda McFadden. I've got All of Us Are Broken by Fiona Cummins. I have pre-ordered this one, but Victoria had an ARC copy, so I'm hoping to read it even quicker. I believe it was Olivia from Olivia Savannah talking about Bernadine Evaristo's Mr. Loverman, so wanted to read that. I'm on a bit of a John Mars kick after reading The One, so when I saw that Victoria was unhauling Keep It in the Family, I said yes please. Same with Other Women by Emma Flint, and then Victoria also sent me One for Sorrow so that I can complete my Helen Fields collection. So that's everything for this week. From next week I will also do a rundown at the end of the week for everything that I've spent that week, but just time constraints this week and things being a bit all over the place, haven't got that done. Hope you've enjoyed this weekly vlog. Let me know if there's anything that you want from me in particular next week. These are just going to be a kind of video diary of my week. And this week has been the one. So I'm going to go and snuggle on the sofa now with Tom. We're going to watch The Apprentice that I missed this week. And then my bed is definitely calling. So until next time, look after yourselves. Bye.